Spoiler alert for those of you who haven't seen episode 34 of Dragon Ball Super. In Dragon Ball GT, Piccolo came into the series to stand up to baby Gohan, only to be blasted away by a Kamehameha, leaving an X and being left for dead without any mention. He later comes back briefly, only to die alongside the Black Star Dragon Balls so that they would never be a threat again, even though the regular Dragon Balls produce 7 Shadow Dragons anyways. After this, he is then reduced to helping Goku go back to Earth with the help of Dende in the depths of Hell. After this, he is left in Hell as it is assumed that he will be there for eternity. Fast forward or technically rewind backwards to Dragon Ball Super. Piccolo has a brief encounter with Beerus in which he unfortunately loses to Beerus in a fight alongside the other Z fighters. We move on to the resurrection of F-Art, and in this, he had his moments defeating Frieza's weak henchmen until Togomo ripped his arm off like he was plucking a fruit. Then, just like GT, they used his death as a tool, this time to raise Gohan's power through his sacrifice once again. But did they raise Gohan's power to defeat Frieza or Ginyu? Nope! They used it just so that Goku could sense Gohan's energy, even though he should have sensed Frieza or Togoma's enormous energy signal instead. But everything seemed like it would all get better when Piccolo was participating in the Universe 6 tournament. Not only did Piccolo seem like he was going to win the fight against Frost, it seemed like he was going to defeat the character that managed to defeat Goku! Everything seemed like it was all going well, until Frost untangled himself, injected Piccolo, and blasted him straight through the chest. So with all the inconsistencies at hand, it makes no sense for how Piccolo survived that blast to the chest, but somehow died when Frieza blasted him through the chest. Especially in a tournament where killing isn't allowed. So what does Super do? They give him the win because Frost supposedly cheated, only to raise the hopes of Piccolo fanboys across the world. But then, they decide to give Vegeta fanboys a second chance as they let Piccolo lose and fail once again, and make Piccolo bow to the short Saiyan Prince. So after listening to me narrate this for all this time, you're probably wondering, Qaaman, what's the purpose of this video? Well, in this video today, I'm going to explain which series managed to screw Piccolo over more, Dragon Ball Super or Dragon Ball GT. And my answer to this is GT. Why is that, you're asking? Well, it's character usage. In just 34 episodes of Dragon Ball Super versus 64 episodes of Dragon Ball GT, Piccolo has already had more screen time, more action sequences, and more development than Dragon Ball GT ever did. No offense, Hail Zeon. In GT, he was only brought in 4 times throughout the entire series, against baby Gohan, sacrificing himself to save the planet, helping Goku get out of Hell, and at the end of the series where Goku told him goodbye. In Dragon Ball Super, Piccolo died for one specific individual in Gohan, which gives the viewers a significantly more narrow and concise image of his sacrifice, whereas in GT, even though dying for mankind could be conceived as a greater sacrifice, the emotional connection is less evident. So let me put this in better words. If you die and sacrifice your life to save one specific person, that is a lot more touching and a lot more emotional as opposed to just saying I'm gonna give my life for everybody, because it makes it seem like that one person means that much to you. We also have to move on to the fact that Piccolo has never officially engaged in a proper fight outside of fighting that ogre monster at the end of the series, so he never even really got a chance to fight in Dragon Ball GT. Now, I will give Dragon Ball Super credit for at least hyping up his usage, whereas in Dragon Ball GT, there was never really any hype for Piccolo to begin with at all. So, with all of this said, both Super and Dragon Ball GT did a garbage job of handling Piccolo's character along with many other characters that have been used. But as I saw various debates in the comment section about Super versus GT from my episode 34 review, I felt this video was necessary to talk about. So guys, that's been my video for today. I have an interesting hashtag for you guys in the comment section below. If you feel that Super has done a better job than Dragon Ball GT, put hashtag Dragon Ball Super. If you disagree with me and you feel that GT did a better job and you are with Hail Zeon on this notion, put hashtag Dragon Ball GT, as I'm looking forward to hearing all of your thoughts in the comment section below. So most importantly, over everything else, please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. And remember, as I always say, to have a great day, guys.